Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Matt and it is finally Fiendish Friday. Alright, TGIMF and F. Alright. First and foremost, I hope all of you are having a fantastic day thus far. Mine's been nice and quiet, which is what I like. Just hanging out, getting things done, just getting ready, just doing my video for y'all, I hope you like today's video. It's from 1979 and it ironically, or not ironically, it funnily has a rated R rating for 1979, but by today's standards, it would probably be a PG-13 because there's nothing really in there that I would say pushes the boundaries enough for an R rating. There's no nudity in it. You see a part of a man's butt, I guess. You barely have any blood in this movie. It's pretty tame, and as far as the language goes, it's extremely tame as well. It stars none other than the behemoth Charles Durning, who is awesome in this movie. Carol Kane, who is always great. God, I love Carol Kane. Colleen Dewhurst. Tony Beckley, Rachel Roberts, and good old Ron O'Neal from Superfly fame, the guy, and Red Dawn, and what else was he in? He was in something else that I can't think of right off the top of my head. Maybe it was Boston Strangler or something like that. Either way, it's also directed by Fred Walton, and that is none other than When a Stranger Calls. What a fun movie. Now, as far as my packaging goes here, I don't have anything special. It's just the regular DVD that's released by Columbia. That's what I thought it was, as a Columbia release. Nothing special to it. It's got a nice little insert index card right there for you. Obviously, zero reversible cover art here, which, honestly, in these older DVDs and a lot of the bigger named ones, they don't do that. And this is a dual-side widescreen, full-screen format on that. So you do at least have that widescreen format in there for most of us that like a full picture on when we get to see everything on our films. Nothing wrong with pan and scan and all, but it's just not the same. Back to today's movie. Now, what is it about? Well, I can tell you right now, the first 10 minutes are the most iconic 10 minutes of the entire film. But of its era, that it is an extremely iconic couple of scenes going there. And that is none other than when Carol Kane meets the Mandrakis family, and she is going to babysit for them. They have 2 children, a boy and a girl. They were just got over being ill, and they are asleep upstairs already when she arrives. So you never see these children at all, not one bit. As she's there, she's receiving multiple calls over and over again, asking have you checked the children? Asking her if she's checked the children, and stuff like that. She eventually gets tired of it, calls the police. They can't do anything about it. They eventually tell her about, if you can keep them on for 2 minutes, we can trace the call. Blah, blah, blah. They trace the call, and the call is coming from inside the house. Dun, dun, dun. I'm not giving anything away that's going to hinder your viewing on this, because this is all within the first 10 minutes of the film. So you aren't really privy to what's happening yet on it. It is like, as after the phone call, she runs out. The police are there. You get to finally see none other than the behemoth Charles Durning. He is amazing in this. I love him. There is this poor fat man had to run a lot in this movie, and I know he was hurting. He had to been at least he was not a happy camper. Now, the reason I say that is because he had this epic chase scene with the killer, played by shoot, I forget his name. Oh, Tony Beckley. Tony Beckley was the killer, and he them two have a this epic foot chase, and it's up and down through some buildings. There's a part where when they get pretty close to each other, he runs through the bad guy runs through Beckley runs through this door, a double sided reversible doors, two-way doors. What do they call those? Bar doors or something like that? Saloon doors, saloon style. Anyways, so excuse me, smoker's cough. So there's this scene where he goes running through the door, the killer does, and right behind him is the behemoth, and he hits these doors with so much force that one of them, that not both of them, but one of them completely flies off of the hinges. The other one's kind of like dangling down. And it's just, the guy just is unstoppable. He's like a freaking rhinoceros, you know, and that's why I call him a behemoth. And plus, he's a big dude. Like, I felt bad for this guy running all this much. If I run down the block, I'm winded. Sometimes if I go up and down the stairs a little too fast, I get a little winded. Gee, many crickets. It's a bitch about being old and fat, I guess, and out of shape. Yeah. So back to the story. So you fast forward it to another 7 years after that whole incident with Have You Checked the Children? And now Carol Kane is a mother and a wife, and she is going out on a night with her husband. And it's lo and behold that in that time period, the killer, Beckley, he escapes from the mental asylum. They don't send him to prison, they send him to a mental asylum. Which, because when he killed those children, he ripped them apart with his bare hands. So that tells you right now that the guy is very, very combustible and has strength and can be a monster, and you know, the guy is not a good person. So you got that all going through her brain of that. So she's got some PTSD going with going out and leaving children home alone or home with a babysitter. There's a whole, like, with the whole cat and mouse between the killer and Charles Durning. Durning is no longer a police officer. He is a private detective. And he is one of the most ballsy, arrogant private detectives you'll ever meet. The guy talks mad shit to anybody. He has no problems pushing his way through a door to get to someone. Not just the infamous 2 doors he smashed through, but this one gal that happened to have a chance encounter with Beckley, the killer, and he has this whole very creepy scene where they meet in a bar, and he wants to just buy her a drink, and she's just not interested. And another bar patron comes up and just waylays the guy and just beats the hell out of him. And then, so you got that, the lady, the guy follows her home. He finds his way in her apartment, basically, because she's dumb, she's drunk. She leaves the front door wide open, basically, for him. She doesn't freak out that he's there. I'm not gonna lie, if I would have saw him at my place, I probably would have freaked out right away, because he was creeping up behind her. I mean, who responds calmly with something of that nature? Now, I don't want to give too much more on this movie just because I want you guys to watch this. This is an amazing cat and mouse film. I don't know if I would classify it as horror so much, but it is definitely a thriller. A lot of cat and mouse. Now, as far as my technical rating on this one, it's pretty polished. Not any real flaws to it. A couple little plot holes. Nothing too major in there. Nothing that's gonna change your view about the film. Ron O'Neal, by the way, is great in this. I love Ron O'Neal. He's always great. He plays Charles Durning's ex-partner, and there's this whole scene where him and Durning are sitting down in his office, and Durning just looks at him. He goes, "I'm gonna kill him." Oh shit! So he wants to kill the bad guy. Back to my technical rating. Like I said, it's pretty good. It's pretty crisp. I'm gonna say probably give it a 3 on that one. It's not above average. It's pretty in the middle of the road on that. Now, entertainment side. This sucker is really entertaining. It is not boring. I never found myself getting sleepy or distracted or anything of that nature for this movie. I never had any problems with it. I'm going to go ahead and set it down now. I think I've held it long enough for the video. I have a problem of doing that, but I do it for a reason, because I like to have you guys see the actual movie and know that yes, I am talking about this, and you can see the cover work, and I'm not just talking about the film, I'm talking about the release I have as well, which this is a pretty good release. There is a newer Blu-ray, I believe it's a Region 2, or maybe it's region free. It's not an American release, I don't believe. I could be very wrong. But it also has When a Stranger Calls Back, the sequel, which Carol Kane does come back in that, I do believe. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that one in years. I saw it once and I remember giggling a lot. Because the killer he's much different. He has something to do with like throwing his voice. He can mime and things like that, pantomime or whatever. Not, I don't know what it is. Back to my entertainment, I'm gonna give it a 4. So we got a 3 and a 4 combined, so that makes us a 7. That's pretty good for this film. It's a little above average. It will knock your socks off in places. I'm not gonna lie. This thing is really done good. It done well. This is one I hope all of you that haven't seen it go out and peep this sucker out. You know, find it. Go spend 97 minutes and watch this movie. You know, I've said a lot in this video. I've just noticed. Alright guys, I'm going to roll the hell out of here because it is 13 minutes in and it's the weekend. Obviously you won't see me here Saturday and Sunday. I'm never here on those days. It is the time for the family and all that jazz. So, as always, have a great weekend. Be safe. Make sure there's no witnesses or cameras. That's my only thing. If you do anything bad, no witnesses or cameras. Alright, y'all. Peace.